In modern life, we all desire to be valued and to become a priority in the lives of others. However, achieving this is not always easy because in order for others to respect and prioritize you, you must know how to make yourself valuable. It's not about constantly trying to please others or being overly dependent on them, but about building an independent life, loving yourself, and respecting your own worth. So, how can you become an indispensable part of the lives of those around you? How can you become someone others naturally prioritize without having to beg or sacrifice too much? Let's explore 10 rules that will help you become a priority in others' lives, enabling you to not only live happily, but also build strong and healthy relationships. 1. Living your own life fully. First and foremost, to become a priority in someone's life, you must begin by living your own life to the fullest. This means creating a life that is independent, fulfilling, and rooted in your own passions and goals. Think about it. When you live for yourself, pursuing the things that light you up and bring you joy, you naturally exude a magnetic energy. You become a person who others are drawn to, not because you are seeking validation, but because your life reflects confidence, self-sufficiency, and purpose. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." This simple yet profound statement speaks to the idea that when you align your actions, beliefs, and passions, you create a state of inner peace. This peace is incredibly attractive to others. People gravitate towards those who are content and at peace with who they are, people who don't need others to complete them, but are already whole on their own. When you are in tune with your own desires and needs, it radiates outwards. You stop depending on others to validate your worth or happiness. Instead, you create your own fulfillment. For example, consider someone who has a rich life filled with hobbies, goals, and close friendships. Their sense of contentment and joy is contagious, and others want to be part of that energy. They don't chase after attention. They simply live authentically, and that authenticity naturally attracts others. By living your own life with passion and purpose, you stop playing the role of the passive observer in your relationships. Instead, you become an active, fulfilling participant, enriching both your own life and the lives of those around you. It's about embracing your independence and not waiting for others to give your life meaning. When you do this, you demonstrate to others that your life is worth being a part of without needing to beg for their attention or affection. Ultimately, living your own life means creating a life that is worth living on your terms. It's about being proud of who you are and what you're working towards. This self-sufficiency, this inner peace, will naturally attract others into your orbit. People who appreciate you for who you are, not for what you can offer them. This is the key to becoming a priority in someone's life. Live fully for yourself, and you will become irresistible to those who truly value you. 2. Putting your own well-being first. To truly become a priority in someone else's life, you must first learn to prioritize your own well-being. This doesn't mean being selfish. Rather, it is about self-respect and protecting your mental and emotional health. When you put your own needs first, you are affirming to yourself and to others that you value yourself enough to set boundaries that preserve your peace and happiness. Imagine if you constantly gave without considering your own needs. You would likely feel drained, unappreciated, and even resentful. On the other hand, when you take time for yourself, when you say no when necessary, and when you prioritize your own mental health, you send a clear message that your happiness matters. This is not selfishness, it's self-respect. And the more you value yourself, the more others will respect you too. For example, think about someone who makes time for their own personal growth, whether it's taking a break when needed, pursuing their passions, or simply ensuring they have enough space to recharge. This person not only ensures their own well-being, but they also teach others how to treat them. When you honor yourself, you set the standard for how you expect to be treated by others. Setting boundaries is a key part of this. It's about knowing when to say no to others in order to say yes to your own needs. Whether it's turning down an invitation or declining an obligation that doesn't align with your values, you are reinforcing your self-worth. People begin to understand that your time and energy are precious, and they will be more likely to value and respect you. Ultimately, putting your own well-being first is not just about self-care. It's about setting the foundation for healthier relationships. When you take care of yourself and prioritize your mental and emotional health, you become stronger, more resilient, and more attractive to others. You teach people to value you because you first demonstrate how much you value yourself. 3. Be yourself. Don't rely on others. Remember, true happiness and fulfillment don't come from others. They come from within you. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from those around you, to measure your worth based on their approval or attention. But in reality, the key to lasting happiness is not found in external praise or recognition. It starts with loving and accepting yourself first. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves waiting for someone else's approval? We might dress a certain way, say things to fit in, or do things just to be liked. But the truth is, these actions often leave us feeling empty. The real power comes from within. When you can be proud of who you are, just as you are, you no longer need external validation to feel valuable. For instance, when you stop seeking constant approval from others, you free yourself. You don't have to mold yourself into someone else's idea of who you should be. Embrace your quirks, your passions, and your unique qualities. When you do this, you attract people who truly appreciate you for who you are, rather than for who you're pretending to be. Self-love is the foundation of self-worth. When you genuinely love yourself, it's not arrogance, it's the recognition of your own value. Others will see this and will begin to treat you with the same respect and admiration that you show yourself. It's a powerful shift. When you stop looking for outside validation, you become your own source of strength, and people will naturally gravitate towards that confidence. In the end, being yourself is not just about accepting your flaws, but celebrating them. It's about realizing that you don't need anyone else's approval to know your worth. And when you truly embrace who you are, the world will recognize and respect you in return. 4. Build an independent and happy life. An independent and happy life is not just about personal satisfaction. It also makes you more attractive to others. When you create a life that is meaningful and full of energy, you naturally draw people in who want to be a part of your world. Think about it. When you are fully engaged in your own passions, pursuing goals that are important to you, you radiate a sense of purpose and fulfillment that is magnetic. Living independently means having the confidence to make decisions for yourself, without relying on others for validation. This independence doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means you are secure in your own identity, and your happiness is not contingent upon anyone else's approval. People are naturally attracted to those who have their own lives, who are not just waiting for someone else to give them meaning or direction. Take a moment to reflect. What is it that makes you feel alive? What activities, hobbies, or goals do you pursue just for yourself, not for anyone else's sake? These are the things that build the foundation of your independent life. When you are content with who you are and what you are doing, it shows. Your confidence and self-sufficiency make you more appealing to others, who will see you not as someone who needs them, but as someone who has a rich life of their own, which they would love to be a part of. Moreover, a life filled with happiness and independence does not just attract anyone. It attracts the right people. The ones who value you for who you truly are, not because of what you could do for them. They see that you are whole on your own and want to join in your journey because they recognize the richness you bring to your own life. In this way, building an independent, happy life makes you not just fulfilled, but also a priority for those who truly appreciate you. So, remember this. The more you invest in your own happiness, the more you'll find others wanting to share that happiness with you. An independent life doesn't just make you strong. It makes you a beacon for those who want to be part of something beautiful and meaningful. 5. Know when to walk away. To protect yourself from unhealthy relationships, it's crucial to know when to walk away. No one has the right to control you or cause you harm, and you should never feel obligated to stay in a relationship that drains you or holds you back. Recognizing when it's time to leave is an act of self-respect, a statement that you value your peace of mind and well-being above all else. It can be hard to let go, especially when you've invested time, emotions, or even love into a relationship. But ask yourself, is this relationship adding value to my life, or is it depleting me? If the answer is the latter, then it's time to walk away. You are worthy of relationships that bring joy, support, and respect, not those that leave you feeling less than, misunderstood, or hurt. In these moments, it's essential to trust your intuition. If you're consistently feeling unappreciated or disrespected, it's a sign that the relationship is no longer serving your best interests. Remember, leaving isn't a failure. It's a form of self-preservation and growth. Walking away allows you to make space for healthier connections that will nurture and inspire you, rather than drain your energy. You have every right to step away from any relationship, friendships, family, or romantic, if they are not enriching your life. It's not selfish to protect yourself, it's necessary. Walking away may be difficult, but it opens the door to new beginnings, new people, and a life that truly values and respects you. So, trust yourself. Know that you deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, not bring you down. And when the time comes, don't be afraid to walk away. It's the most powerful choice you can make to safeguard your peace and happiness. 6. Know how to set boundaries and respect yourself. One of the most important steps to becoming a priority in the lives of others is learning how to set boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are healthy lines that protect your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. By clearly defining what is acceptable and what is not in your relationships, you communicate your self-worth and assert your value. Imagine a situation where someone repeatedly asks for your time, energy, or resources without considering your own needs or priorities. If you don't set a boundary, you might begin to feel exhausted, taken for granted, or even resentful. However, when you set clear boundaries, whether it's saying no to unreasonable demands, making time for yourself, or standing firm on your values, you send a powerful message that you value yourself and expect to be treated with respect. Setting boundaries is not about being harsh or unkind. It's about ensuring that your needs are met, just as you respect the needs of others. It's important to remember that boundaries aren't a sign of selfishness, but a reflection of self-respect. By honoring your own limits, you teach others how to treat you, and you create space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. For example, if a friend constantly expects you to drop everything for them, it's okay to say, "I need to prioritize my work or personal time right now." This isn't rejection, it's self-care. Healthy boundaries allow you to nurture yourself without feeling guilty, and they help build relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. When you set and maintain boundaries, you're not only protecting yourself, but you're also demonstrating that you deserve to be treated well. By respecting your own limits, you become a stronger, more grounded person, and others will learn to value your time, energy, and presence. In the end, setting boundaries helps you build relationships where you are truly valued. Not because you give everything, but because you know your worth and expect the same in return. 7. Maintain freedom and the right to choose. One of the most powerful ways to ensure that you remain a priority in your own life and in the lives of others is by safeguarding your freedom and the right to choose. Life is full of choices, and it's essential that you take ownership of your decisions, whether they are big or small. This freedom is what allows you to design the life that reflects your values, passions, and goals. Consider the freedom to say no when something doesn't align with your values or when it compromises your well-being. Often, we may feel pressure to say yes to things we don't truly want because we fear disappointing others or missing out. But what we may not realize is that by agreeing to things that don't serve us, we lose a little piece of our own happiness and autonomy. When you allow yourself the space to make choices that resonate with your inner self, you honor your own needs and desires. This doesn't mean neglecting others, but rather ensuring that your happiness and sense of fulfillment aren't reliant on anyone else's expectations or approval. For instance, If you find yourself in a situation or relationship that limits your personal growth or happiness, having the strength to walk away and say no is an affirmation of your worth and self-respect. True freedom comes from recognizing that you have the power to shape your life according to your own values. When you maintain this power, you naturally become more attractive to others because people are drawn to those who are confident, independent, and in control of their own lives. Ultimately, the key to maintaining freedom and happiness is realizing that your choices are yours to make. When you respect your ability to choose, you empower yourself to create a life that is meaningful and aligned with your authentic self. And when you make choices from a place of freedom and self-awareness, you become someone others are eager to prioritize in their lives as well. 8. Building relationships based on mutual respect. To become an important part of someone else's life, it's essential to build relationships grounded in mutual respect and care. These relationships are not about one-sided sacrifices or merely taking from one another. Instead, they are about sharing, supporting, and growing together. True, meaningful relationships thrive when both individuals contribute equally, whether it's through listening, understanding, or offering support during tough times. This balance allows both people to feel valued and appreciated. It's not about one person constantly giving and the other constantly receiving. Rather, it's about both individuals investing time and effort into nurturing a strong bond. For example, in a friendship, both friends should be there for each other, whether it's celebrating successes or offering a shoulder to lean on during difficult times. Similarly, in a romantic relationship, both partners should support each other's goals, respect each other's individuality, and work together towards common dreams. When both people feel seen, heard, and respected, the relationship becomes a source of strength for both. When mutual respect is at the foundation, it fosters trust and understanding, which allows the relationship to grow deeper and more fulfilling. This creates an environment where both individuals can be their authentic selves, without fear of judgment or exploitation. Ultimately, relationships built on respect and mutual care are the ones that last. They make each person feel cherished and valued for who they truly are, not for what they can offer. These kinds of connections are the ones that have the power to make you a priority in someone else's life, because they recognize and appreciate the strength of your bond. 9. Be patient and let relationships develop naturally. Never rush the process of building a relationship. Allow things to unfold naturally, without forcing or pressuring the situation. Patience is key to creating lasting and meaningful connections, and it helps you avoid putting unnecessary emotional energy into relationships that aren't worth your time. Relationships that grow over time, step by step, tend to be more genuine and strong. When you try to force a bond, whether it's with a friend, romantic partner, or colleague, it can often lead to frustration or disappointment. True connections are built on shared experiences, trust, and mutual respect, and these things take time to develop. For example, in a friendship, it's important to spend time together, share stories, and build trust gradually. There's no need to rush into deep conversations or make grand gestures too soon. Let the friendship evolve at its own pace, and it will naturally become a source of support and understanding. Similarly, in romantic relationships, rushing to label things or pushing for an intense emotional connection too quickly can put unnecessary strain on both individuals. Taking time to get to know each other, respecting boundaries, and allowing the relationship to deepen gradually often leads to stronger, more fulfilling partnerships. By being patient and allowing relationships to evolve organically, you can avoid investing too much in situations that may not have the potential to grow. Instead, you preserve your emotional energy for connections that truly align with your values and goals. This approach ensures that you're not only building relationships that last, but also protecting yourself from unnecessary heartache. Ultimately, letting relationships grow naturally teaches you the importance of timing and trust. When you give space for connections to unfold, you not only avoid rushing into the wrong situations, but also make room for the right relationships to blossom in their own time. Patience, after all, is an act of self-respect, allowing you to cultivate bonds that are worth the investment. 10. Select genuine relationships. Ultimately, to become a priority in someone else's life, you must learn to choose and nurture relationships that truly add value to your life. Prioritize those who respect and appreciate you for who you are. These are the relationships that build you up, offer mutual support, and bring positivity into your world. Choosing meaningful connections means being discerning about who you invest your time and energy in. Not every relationship, no matter how close, will necessarily bring growth or happiness. Some might drain you, cause unnecessary stress, or leave you feeling unappreciated. It's essential to recognize these relationships and distance yourself from them. You deserve people who lift you up and contribute to your sense of well-being, not those who leave you emotionally exhausted or questioning your worth. For example, consider the difference between a friendship that constantly asks for favors but never offers support in return, versus one that's built on trust, reciprocity, and mutual care. The first relationship may leave you feeling unfulfilled, while the second will nourish your spirit and encourage your personal growth. The choice is yours, and it's crucial to recognize where your energy is best spent. In romantic relationships, it's especially important to find someone who values and respects you. Relationships should never be about compromising your happiness or well-being for the sake of keeping someone around. The right partner will encourage you to grow, respect your individuality, and prioritize your happiness as much as their own. By carefully selecting the relationships you invest in, you not only protect your emotional health, but also create an environment where you can thrive. Surround yourself with people who bring out the best in you, and be willing to walk away from those who do not. After all, your time and energy are precious, and only genuine relationships will truly make you a priority in the lives of others. In conclusion, to become a priority in someone else's life, you need to start with yourself. Live an independent life. Love and cherish yourself, set boundaries, and protect your own freedom. When you do this, you will naturally attract healthy and valuable relationships. More importantly, you will become someone others cannot imagine living without.